Good
Okay.
morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. My name is Krishnesh Nayak, and I am your Associate Program Quality Director for the year 2023-2024. And this session is the first of many sessions under the series called Navigating Pathways. In this session, we will be covering mainly the Icebreaker project, right? So the agenda and the session objectives are three. You will analyze the Icebreaker project resource. For that, you need to log into your dashboard. You have to go to your pathway, launch the Icebreaker project, right? And only then you can see what those resources are. Second, you will ideate speech ideas for the Icebreaker speech. That is going to be the main focus. And I'd love for all of you here to share your inputs on what you want to, let me mute these guys, right? So I want your ideas on what you think will be the best way to go about an Icebreaker project. And then finally, of course, is prepare to deliver your speech at your club meeting. Okay, so these are the three agenda and session objectives, right? Now for this, of course, I understand some of you have joined from college clubs and you are looking to probably join later, so you don't have dashboard access. Rest assured, what you see on the screen in a few moments, that is going to be applicable even a few months later, right? And when you eventually become Toastmasters, you will have access to those resources. Right, so before we go to the resources of the project, right, I'd like to know how many of the people here and those in the Uniworld auditorium, how many are yet to give your Icebreaker speech? Arnab, Avik, I know you have not given your Icebreaker speech. Dipanshi, are you from Shuvranil? Hasn't given. Fantastic. How about you, Dipanshi? Jyoti hasn't given. Dipanshi, Manish, Rajkishore, have you given your Icebreaker speeches yet? I will.
I have given already.
You have given already. Fantastic. Dipanshi, what about you? Are you from IMI? Manish? Raise of hand, any emoji, and I will get some information. Got it. No problem. Doesn't matter. In case you have or you haven't given, okay, no, sir. That means you are most likely from IMI college. Please don't use sir. I am Krish, and if you want to be really formal, it's TM Krish. Got it. So the Icebreaker project, okay. Icebreaker projects that's the foundation project that is designed to introduce you to your club and the skills you need to begin your Toastmaster journey, right? So you don't have to be a great speaker. You don't have to have your pauses in place. You don't have to move around and, say flowery language. No, it is just to get you started. And the main focus has to be introducing yourself to your club, right? You've just joined a club. Ideally, there would be at least 8-10 people, if not more, who will be welcoming you, right? They need to know who you are. So your Icebreaker speech is going to be a wonderful opportunity for first-time speakers and first-time members to introduce themselves and begin building their confidence as speakers and introducing themselves to their peers in the Toastmasters community and in that club, right? So what we're going to do is
वो TM core में
TM core, mute, one more, who else?
Hi.
Rohan. Hi, Rohan. Fantastic. Thank you. And I am going to disable unmute themselves just so that the recording is preserved. Got it. So now here are some ideas and topics that you can consider to ensure that your peers in your clubs get to know you better after listening to your speech. Now I understand Raj Kishore Roy has given his icebreaker. I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Yeah,
Oh,
hi.
sorry.
Okay.
Got it. So Rajkishore, what did you do in your icebreaker? What did you speak on?
Introducing myself in the icebreaker speech, what I did was I joined my a few of my incidents in my life. I did not describe my life in full, like where I'm from and where did my engineering or college from,
Okay.
or which school did I go. I started with a line which actually happened in 2000, might be 2016, 17, which was a high point in my life. And
Okay.
starting there, connected to my place of origination, where I came from,
Got
right?
it.
My family, my parents, and the occupation of my parents, and where I came from. From there, I connected again back to my current position. So it was a string of 4, 5 incidents which I stitched together to form a story. So
Story
that
about
was all
yourself.
I introduced about. That came
Fantastic.
out with the thing who I am, what
Fantastic.
metal I am built of. Those all
Very good.
things came out.
Fantastic. Fantastic, Rajkishore. Well done. That is a fantastic way to ensure that all your club members and peers know you better once you finish giving your speech. Okay. Now I know as first time speakers, I took at least what, 3.5 months before I was able to give, no, before I was able to start ideating about what I will give in my icebreaker. So just to help you on those lines, let me first tell you, I have some 10 ideas which you can use. And eventually I'm going to show this in slides and, I'll give the resources to you. First is when you want to introduce yourself to your club, one of the favorite ones which I have seen a lot of people doing is they talk about their life journey through hobbies, right? So what you can do, I'm sure, this is not a college viva where hobbies you're only writing, reading and writing, right? So you have to have some other hobby, right? So let's say you share your journey through life through different hobbies they've had in life, right? So whether it's painting, playing a musical instrument, hiking, yeah, or even something unconventional like maybe I don't know, somebody wants to do underwater basket weaving, anything, or even something as unconventional, right? Whatever your hobby, just talk about that, and people will know you better, right? How many times have you been in situations where people will, it's a cliche question in almost all interviews. Tell me something about yourself, and we start with, okay, I grew up here, and then I did my 10th and 12th, and then I went here, and then I did this and did that, right? That doesn't leave a lasting impression. So you have to come up with different ways to introduce yourself, and that's what all these ideas are going to help you with, right? So one is your journey in life through your hobbies, but make sure those hobbies are interesting. You cannot just go with, okay, I love reading and these are all the newspapers and books I've read, and but how does that change you? If you can add that part, that will be great. Point number two is you can talk about how your life changed from having dreams and how those dreams became reality, right? So you talk about a dream that you had when you were young and how it became a reality in their life in current, when you're as you gave the speech. So this could be anything from, let's say, a career aspirations. Like I know a lot of chartered accountants and IT professionals who talked about the struggle of preparing for the exams and clearing it. There are people who have gone abroad and how they cleared those exams, how they applied for, visas, and they talk about all those things. That dream and how it became a reality. Some of them even talk about, how dreams, they still haven't become a reality and how they're trying towards it. So they talk about all the difficulties they're going through and how they're meeting with obstacles, right? So these are career aspirations, even if it's a travel goal. I heard of one person give his icebreaker speech about how he was able to scale. He went to the base camp of Mount Everest. So he spoke about that. So he was a fantastic, fitness freak. But when he came to the stage, he just melted, you know. So he spoke about that travel goal that he had. Right? So, one, journey through hobbies. Two is dreams to reality. Right? And now, since I talked about somebody going to the Mount Everest base camp, one more idea which you can use is the power of travel. Right? If you are a well-traveled guy, yeah, if you have traveled to interesting places, then you can share stories and experience from that journey. How did that journey change you? What did you see in that place that changed you? Right, so this not only gives insights into your personality but also allows you to showcase your storytelling skills. Right, so let's say you're talking about some remote village in Rajasthan where your travel plan suddenly went haywire. Right, so you had to stay there, and the conditions, the hospitality of the people you met, and how you were able to self reflect, and all those kind of things, that it really brings it out together. Okay, this is what Shishir, let's say there's a person called Shishir. So this is what Shishir is when he's on a journey, right? People will get to know you more. Of course, over the course of time, you'll be able to tell about where you are from, your village, and how you did your 10th, and what you did, and your favorite teachers, and all those people. But as a speech, when you are giving it, make sure it has something of value. People are, you have just that 4 to 6.5 minutes. So make sure that when you are sharing your story, everybody is listening. No one should, idly, no one should be, just switching off their video and just sitting and looking up the Instagram. Or even if you're giving it in person, nobody should be talking to the side. Right. So you have to tell those kind of incidents. Right. And now, since I'm talking about how to keep things interesting, talk about turning points in your life. Yeah, that's the fourth point. Talk about turning points. Share about a point in life where things really changed. Something, a challenging experience that taught them an important life lesson, or an achievement that significantly impacted their path. Right, you can provide depth to that introduction. Right, so you're not only just saying, "Hi, my name is Krishnesh Nayak." You're also going to say what kind of experiences Krishnesh had which changed him. I was a, for example, you can say, "I was a very happy to go lucky guy, and never took things seriously, and then something happened, and now I'm very serious about a lot of things. I know there is no scope for mistakes in a lot of things." Different people are different, built differently. Right, I'm not saying that's the way a person should be, but people will get to know you better. That's the objective. Right. Next, I know I spoke about how people say reading is my hobby. Fine. Talk about a book, or maybe a couple, that actually changed you. Right. So discuss a book that has left a lasting impact on them, or explain why it resonated so strongly. When you talk about these things, it reveals a lot about your value, your interests, right, and your thought process. Right. So a person who says, I was, I spent so much time and energy, and I have so many memories associated with the Harry Potter series. Why? How does it resonate with you? Why do you feel so strongly about it? What happened in your childhood that you really went so deeply into those books. Right? So it really shows so much about you. Even if you're able to take it one step further, you talk about how you relate to one of those characters, not Harry Potter, maybe somebody else. Right, why you relate to that character, how your traits match that person's. Right, and that's a better way to present when you're giving an analogy that, okay, I and this particular character, we share similarities. Right, or even if it means something else, an instance in the book. Right, those kind of things, it really helps you present yourself in a more interesting way to your club members. One more thing is, you talk about your family. That's, everybody has some interesting story or the other about your family. Right, so you talk about life lessons from the family. You talk about a specific lesson or value that they learned from a family member. and how it has shaped their character and choices. Right? One of my favorite ways to uh, talk about is my grandfather, who's who's always been a very friend. Though he's obviously a generation or two ahead, but he was always on the same page with me. He even if I gave him that respect, he would say, "Not required. Just call me by my first name or give me a nickname." And he used to go, "Old man, you're old, and you don't know anything." That kind of banter. So, and I used to joke with him, even though he's not here with us anymore. I used to joke with him whenever I used to go back home that I've already killed you so many times to take leaves. I don't know. And he used to say, as you go up in life, keep doing that. Doesn't matter. I want to be as useful as possible for you in this life, and even if I'm not there. So, when I talk about my grandfather, that is, that's a life lessons from family. I'm talking about my family. I'm talking about a person. I'm talking about my relation with him, and that really brings out another layer of Krish to the people of my club. That's one. One more is, you talk about hidden talents, right? All of you are talented. I'm 100% sure all of you are talented. You just don't know how, right? So if you have figured out what that hidden talent is or skill is, talk about it, right? I know one guy he was really quick with that Rubik cube, right? He would do it really well. I mean, not under a minute, but it was pretty quick. Like during the course of the speech, he just solved it, and he told us how it's so easy if you put your mind to it and those kind of things, right? And I heard one more of an icebreaker speech where that person was imitating these famous personalities. So he started off with Amitabh Bachchan and how when he was a kid, how he used to imitate Amitabh Bachchan, and now how he is going to imitate, how he's imitating Amitabh Bachchan. So over the course, as Amitabh Bachchan and his movies changed, how he also grew in that time frame. He spoke on those lines. So it's not really surprising, but it's also entertaining, right? One more is, I know a lot of members who come into Toastmasters. They are, you know, some of them are pretty much starting their careers. They are well into their careers. So share anecdotes from their professional journey. You can straight start that, my name is Alok and I work with so and so company, but it's not been an easy start. I worked here as this, and then I met these challenges. COVID came. This is what happened, and then I got this promotion. This is what happened, and now I'm at this phase of my career, right? So when you talk about your lessons from your professional journey, it could be funny, it could be something unique. You give the audience insights into your work life, right? This is not the only speech you're going to give, right? So you're going to give many other speeches. You will get a lot of opportunities to share other stories from your life. So if you can pack an aspect about you which can be displayed better with your career adventures or your professional journey, consider doing that. One more is lessons from a passion project, right? I've heard of some Toastmasters. They came in from they already came in from a voluntary background, right? So they used to be very active in blood donation groups, or they fought for the right to a park in their locality which was being overtaken by something else, straight out of the movies. So that person came and he spoke about how that passion project changed them, right? How they undertook that significant project outside of their regular life, right? So organizing a charity event or building something from scratch, like they called in volunteers from their locality and they made that park. It was usually with horrible people loitering around at after sunset, but they were able to come together and change the whole that plot of land, planting trees, making it clean, making sure nobody was around, keeping it occupied, all those kind of things. So that from that passion you realize that okay, these are things that are valuable to this person. Now we know Mr. Shankar a lot better, right? Next, 10th, cultural collections, right? Cultural connections. There are people from various walks of life. Here now it's so difficult to answer the question, where are you from nowadays? Because people have, they're born in one place, they travel to another place, they relocate, they settle down somewhere else. Sometimes the mother is from a different state, the father is from a different state. There are so many things happening in the family. Their sister, their siblings, they get married to somebody else from outside the states. There's love marriages, there's arranged marriages, so many things happening. So everybody, almost, more people than less, at least of whom I know, they are exposed to so many cultures. So when they talk about how their cultural background or heritage has shaped their values, beliefs, and perspectives on life, again, it's very enlightening and engaging. I've especially noticed it in icebreakers from Toastmasters, who are full time dedicated in maintaining a house, these homemakers. So they talk about how before marriage, it was a different culture, and they got married to someone, and then the culture changes. Their roles and responsibility changes, and how that shapes them. So from a lady who's not too keen on working, after marriage, getting that confidence from the new environment that yes, you can work, do what you want to sing, go get into professional singing, whatever. So when she talked about that, it really showed all the members about, okay, this is what I can really learn from this person, right? So these were 10 things which I think, great ideas that you'll feel like, uh, not only you can use it when you are giving an icebreaker. If you look at others, please go ahead and tell them that, hey, how about you tell that. So now I'm going to allow you to unmute yourselves and tell me, especially those who have not yet given your icebreaker, which of these ideas is really resonating with you. Go ahead. Anyone, please do unmute yourself and tell me which idea is looking good to you at the moment. Anybody? No? Shirish, you want to share? Or did I put you on a spot because you switched on your video? I can't hear you, Shirish. I think there's something wrong with your audio. Nope. Is anyone else able to hear Shirish? I can see you've muted yourself, but yep, we can't hear you, Shirish. Okay, you can just, I heard some noise. Shirish, just unmute again. Let's see, maybe. Raj. Okay, that was Raj. Fine. Okay, got it. So that's one. Now let me take you to I'll share my screen and take you through the dashboard. Right. So let's go here. Right. Let me reduce this. Let me reduce disable hide floating meeting. Yep. So once you log in, you go to your base camp, right? When you click on base camp, it'll take you to, Jesus, this has been open since morning for me. Sorry. Let's go back in again. Right. So when you go to base camp, it'll ask you which club do you want to go into. So let's say I go into one of the clubs, Virtual Masters Club. Right. If you're a member of 4 clubs, everything will come in here and you can go in again accordingly. Right. So here we go. And I go to paths and learning education transcripts. Click on this. I go to engaging humor. That's my pathway currently. I open curriculum. And right, I finished my level 1, but I'm going to show you my icebreaker speech. Let's see. I click on launch. right? It takes a while. It takes more than a while. Okay, let's see if we can go to the first one. Yep. Right, so this is the first page that you will see in your, as you get into your dashboard, into your project one. So you have arrows to go from left to right. You have buttons to again go from left to right, right? And once you've gone through all the pages, you can click on this one, right? So let's say I go to the first one. It says introduction, do this. These are things that you need to do in your icebreaker. How do you do it? Culmination, what are things that you have to do actually when you do give the speech? So it's a 4 to 6 minute speech. You will recognize skills that you have already have. So many of you are already speakers, but maybe you don't know. Once you are there on the stage, that's when you realize, hey, I'm really good at it, right? I just need to work on this and get better, right? Then you will have something called the project checklist. Download this, see how you have to fill it, right? It has information about getting in touch with your VP Ed for a slot, talking to your mentor, all those kind of things. Then this part, which is assess your skills before the project. So before you give, so this is, since this is my second pathway, I thought I believe I'm confident and calm in speaking in front of groups. So I've selected a 5. If you think you're at 5, go ahead, select 5 and keep going next, right? You'll keep. So this is assessing your skills before. And then you come into the competencies, which you will learn while you practice this project, right? So you will recognize the elements of a basic speech. You will balance preparation and spontaneity when delivering your speech. You will demonstrate self-confidence when speaking in front of an audience, right? So these are various competencies that you're going to build in this project. So next, there's a video which you need to watch. It's a 3-minute video. And what they do here is there will be 5 to 10 people who are going to tell you about what they did during the icebreaker or how they felt, what their reaction was, what was the reaction of their club members, right? These are all things you will understand. So like if I go to the end, you will see that there are a lot of pointers here about see. So, the various tips, like know the club is a positive environment. So one of them talked about, how though that person was fumbling and forgetting his lines, people were encouraging it, right? So the club meeting is 100% a positive environment. So don't worry about making mistakes. And he's also talking about, worry less. So again, don't worry about too many things. This is the first step. So just take it. All you need is confidence to get comfortable with the stage, and that's what is required here. Right? So go through this video in detail. You can watch it multiple times. And then you have the speech outline worksheet. Now, if you go through this, it really helps you list down the ideas that you have. So you don't have to fill up the speech title in the beginning itself. First, fill up these things. This is the last thing that you fill. So you list 2 or 4 things about yourself that the club would like to know. Reasons for joining Toastmasters, your goals, how you plan to open, do you have a greeting? How do you plan to capture the audience interest? How will you introduce yourself? How will you transition from the introduction into the body? What are the 3 or 2 or 5 stories that you want to share? Even if it is one story, fine. And then how are you going to conclude, right? So you have to talk about everything that you spoke, just touch upon each of those and then close with an impact, right? So if you start writing out all these, it really helps in your speech, right? You can, of course, download it, print it. I know there are some old school people who like to print and write. Go ahead, you can take down those. You'll have to then, while you prepare, you will organize your speech and you will present and prepare. So how do you go about all these things? And once you've finished all that, right, you're rehearsing with friends and family. How do you plan to do it? What's the timing, pacing, organization, everything. Yeah, this resource will really tell you how you can calm your nerves, how you can prepare yourself in such a way that the stage is not your enemy, it is your friend. Right? It just This is a way where the stage is telling you're welcome to the stage. Right? There's nothing to be afraid. Doesn't matter if it's your first speech. Right? So go through all this, and after your speech, you will see that there is a similar assessment that you have to finish, where you will evaluate yourself and you will assess how you did in each of these. Now, after you complete, again, there is a project checklist. You will click on this and see what it says. Did you do it properly? What were your thoughts on getting this done? How you plan to improve it? Let me see what it opens up now. Right? So, did you schedule your speech? Did you write your speech? Rehearse your speech? And then after you complete all of this, you will go and assess your skills after, right? So when I go next, you will see your evaluation. You can print your project, the outline worksheet, the evaluation resource. So when you look at your evaluation resource, you will realize, okay, so these are the things my evaluator is going to evaluate me on, right? So you can prepare based on that. And then you assess your skills after, right? So once you give the speech, ideally, before you took this test, before, so you took the assessment before, you gave the speech, and then when you take it after, have you improved in terms of, no, these are all self-reflective questions. There's nothing, there's no points, or there's no right answer or wrong answer. It's a scale of 1 to 5. You can choose, right, what you want to do. Right? So this is the dashboard, right? So now I'm going to stop sharing again, and I know all of you are off camera, but I would like to assume those who are Toastmasters have logged in at least once, and the screens that I showed were not too alien, I hope, right? The more you log in to your dashboard, the more you will be clear about what each project or each speech in Toastmasters, how it helps you. You'll be very clear about that. And that's what you want, right? Of course, you have mentors and seniors in your clubs who will tell you, okay, this is what you should do, this is what you should do, this project does this project does that. But go ahead. Maybe they cannot spell out each and everything that's on the resource. You saw how extensive the icebreaker resource was. Similarly, the projects later on will have even more detailed information. So please go through your dashboard. Right? Now, let's see if we can take a recap on our, let me start the screen share and let me right. So now it's time for a recap. Let's get ready for a recap. We'll be going really quickly on this, right? So here we go. This was my starting screen. What did we do after this? Right. So this was the agenda, and we analyzed the icebreaker project resource. We ideated the speech ideas for the icebreaker speech. And for preparing to deliver your speech at your club meeting, that's something which we can cover in this slide. So analyzing the icebreaker resource, right? You will fill up the project checklist. You will assess your skills before the project. Watching that video to get some tips from Toastmasters across the world. Use that icebreaker speech online outline template to list down ideas and shape your speech, right? So there are two sections, organizing your speech and preparing and presenting your speech. Make sure to go through your evaluation form and see how your speech will be evaluated. Notice how I said, I didn't mention how you will be evaluated. No, even as an evaluator, remember that you are going to evaluate a speech. Don't evaluate the person, okay? Evaluate the speech. Right? Similarly, you will discuss queries, ideas, and stories with your mentor. Make sure you talk to your VP education about your mentor as soon as you join a club. And then consider making updates to your speech based on your mentor suggestion. So that's analyzing the icebreaker resource. After that is ideating speech ideas for your speech. We talked about 10. Let's see if we can have those. Right. So my journey through hobbies, you talk about something interesting, a hobby that you do. That's a fun way to introduce yourself. Dreams to reality, talk about a dream that you had when you were a kid and how that has transformed into reality, or how you are working towards transforming that into reality, right? Then you have the power of travel. I know there are a lot of people who are avid travelers. If you take a look at many of your Instagram stories, I'm sure you are keeping a meticulous track of all those places you traveled. So look for stories that or experiences during those travels that you would like to share, which will help your members to know you better, right? Just don't talk about, if you've gone to Jaipur, don't talk about Jaipur. Talk about how you resonated with Jaipur. Talk about the experience you had with Jaipur, right? Don't talk about the place. Talk about how the place changed you, right? Those are things which you need to talk about in Power of Travel. Turning points. Now here again, experiences, but even more, challenging experiences that really teach you something different in life. It's a, like it says, it's a turning point. Like a person I knew was a happy-to-go-lucky guy. Something happened in his life. He lost a very close family member, and then suddenly, with all the responsibility, he was a completely new person within a week. Right. So that was a turning point, and that's how he was able to tell everybody in the club that this is how I changed. Then you have the book that changed me. Yeah, everybody has one of their favorite hobbies, which we list out is reading. So if you've read a lot of books, what is that one book that has really left a lasting impression on you? And why is it that you feel so strongly about it? So if you can speak about that, talk about your values and the thought process behind how you resonate with that book and resonate with the characters, that will really help everyone know you better through your icebreaker. Then you have life lessons from family. Of course, there are so many seniors in your family, and of course, you can talk about your relation with your younger siblings. I know of people who joined Toastmasters after they were parents, and they spoke about how the arrival of a little one in their family just changed them. They've realized that work is not everything. They have new dreams. They have a new sense of purpose. So this actually brings out that quality in a person, that okay, this person is now complete family guy. That's what is most important to him, irrespective of what place he is in his career. His priority is family. So these are things that will come out about yourself, right? He's not going to, you do not talk about the importance of family and the history of family and why family is important in society. No, you're going to talk about yourself, right? That's the objective of an icebreaker. You speak about yourself, you introduce yourself, you share your stories and experiences. That's what you do. So lessons from your family. Then you have hidden talents. Of course, everybody, I'm sure somebody is a good mimicry artist, or somebody has done something fantastic which we don't know about, some hiker, some paraglider. Great stuff. All of you are doing great stuff. See if you can highlight those in your icebreaker speeches. Career adventures. Some of you will are late to the party, just like me. I joined Toastmasters only after I already was in my second job. So I was late to the party. And if I were to give an icebreaker now, one of the opportunities in front of me would be to discuss or share about how my career went through various phases, the ups and downs, and how it changed me. That is something which I can talk about. So that's also an option. Next, we have lessons from a passion project, right? So if you've done something really cool, something that is outside of your regular life, try to talk about that and why it's important. That will be really fun to listen to. And then, of course, cultural connections, wherein you talk about, let's say, a festival which you were very close to as a kid, and now how it is. I heard a fantastic icebreaker about a Toastmaster whose life revolved around watching the Ganga Aarti every weekend as he was growing up. And then when he moved out of that city and he's moved out to another country, and how he misses it, and how that culture is something that he yearns for, how he yearns to come back home, and how much meaning that used to have. So that was a really fantastic way to show the whole club and all the members about what is so important to this particular member, right? So it's a deeper thing to do. So those are 10 things. I see a one here. Oh, okay, yeah, we have some bonus stuff. So yeah, some of the fun ways to do is you talk about your sun sign traits. Okay, I'm a Leo, that's why I'm this. I'm a Taurian, so I'm very stubborn. I don't give up that easily. And what else? I'm not too much into sun signs and moon signs, but I've heard a lot of people talk about sun sign traits and how they relate to it or how they don't relate to it, right? So sometimes you can say I'm a Taurian, but I I don't care. I'm not that stubborn or something like that. So I don't know why I'm a Taurian. I should, I'm a fake Taurian or something like that. And then, of course, what's in a name? I have heard many speeches, especially icebreakers, where people talk about how difficult their name is to pronounce, what is the name of what is the meaning of their name, and what the name means in different languages, all those things. And they're able to talk about so many stories based on just that name and why their parents gave that, how they came upon their name. They talk about their nicknames. So all those things are there. So fantastic stuff which you can go through to give your icebreaker. It's really easy. Now let's come to preparing to deliver the speech, right? So let's say, so first you ensure you have understood the objectives of the icebreaker project, right? You share your speech with a mentor, you discuss ideas and stories, talk to them about what they did during the icebreaker speech, right? Or what are icebreaker speeches that the mentor, has been impressed with. Talk about those things, right? If you're one of those meticulous guys, share an audio recording or a video recording with your mentor, ask them for feedback, right? So they can tell you, okay, I thought I heard a, monotonous, when you're talking about your favorite car, why don't sound excited? Oh, this is my favorite car, instead of, yeah, I love uh, ambassadors and conquistadors. You can say something, different. I have an unpopular alternate opinion, which is most of my mentees, the icebreaker, the only way I mentor them during icebreakers is I give them confidence to go up on stage. I don't mentor their speech per se. Notice the unpopular, okay, the word unpopular. But if you listen to the whole thing, you'll see the logic in it. So I would prefer it that my mentee, the first speech that he or she gives, and once it's recorded, that will be the base point. So I'm happy to see them fumble. I'm happy to see them forget their lines. I'm happy to see them nervous. Why? Because I know 3 months, 6 months, or maybe even a year later, when they see that video and they see how they've progressed as a speaker on stage, that's when that stark difference comes in. My God, I was like this. Now I'm like this. It's very similar to all those selling videos of pehle mein aisa tha, ab main aisa hu. So, I love those videos. So I think that's something which I really hope my mentees, you know, take the best use of. So again, unpopular opinion, but that's who I am. Then remember, it's okay to refer to your notes, okay? And it's okay to be nervous too. So you have your whole speech, make it into notes, and you can always have it in a paper in front of you, keep it over here. You don't have to steal glances. You can look at your notes and give your speech. It's your first speech. Everybody's going to be very motivating and very encouraging towards you. So please take the stage. Don't worry about, remembering your speech completely. Speak with your club vice president education for a speech slot. When you go through the resources, the first thing they will tell you to do is ask for a speech slot and then start preparing. That is one way to go about it. That way you have a deadline. Okay, I have to give my speech in 2 weeks. So now let me just prepare. I prefer the other route, which is first prepare, Once you're ready, ask for a speech slot, because speech slots will mostly be available. Then you give your speech, yay! And not just your evaluator, okay? The evaluator is going to evaluate you. Ask at least 2 or 3 more of your club members who are in attendance on that day. Ask them to share their thoughts. Boss, after the meeting, you have to tell me how I did, what I could have done better, where I, did well, what did you like, those kind of things, right? So don't just harp on what the evaluator has to say. And then this is one thing which I suggest, consider. So consider giving it in one more club at least. It's not that, okay, I have Toastmaster Rajesh, he's a member of one club, so only those 15 members should know Rajesh. No, there are so many other clubs. Let everybody know. Let at least 20, 30 people more know who Rajesh is. So give your speech in another club. So when you do that, you have an opportunity to incorporate some suggestions from your evaluator or your peers, right? So this is something you can give, and in the process, your story is shared with somebody else, right? You never know who's going to be inspired by your story, right? So that's something which you can do, right? So these are all the slides which I will share. It will be on your social media handles in the District 124. That's it. All the best. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to stop sharing, and let's see if you would like to ask or discuss anything. Anybody? We have 6 more minutes. I think I made good time. Anybody? I see a lot of new names, but Dr. Shilpa, I assume you are one of the senior ones here. Have you given your icebreaker?
No, I haven't given it yet.
Okay.
Yet to be an official member, I guess.
Okay. And what about any of these ideas that resonate with you?
Pardon?
Any of these ideas that you heard today, does it give you something to work on?
Yeah, I really like that idea of presenting yourself. The 12 points that you've given, they were
So
really
out of those
good.
12, which one do you think you can play with?
I guess two. One, the book, one,
Well
because I
done.
am a reader. I like to
Fantastic.
read a lot. And
Fantastic.
the other one was probably the sun sign one.
Sun sign one, yes. Okay. So
Yeah,
what's your
I
sun
like
sign?
reading about.
What's your
I'm a
sun sign?
Libran. I'm a
Libran. Oh,
Libran.
fantastic. So this is your birthday month, I think, unless you're
Yes.
born in October, which
No, October is my birth month. Mhm. Yeah.
I'll take that back. Yes, October is also Libran. Very good. Oh yeah, actually you
Yes.
have more days in October which are for a Libra than in
Yeah,
September.
it's actually 23rd. It's yeah.
Well
Okay.
done. You can absolutely. What do I know about Librans? You have fantastic, charming smiles. Well done. You can talk about that and how your smile got you out of trouble in various occasions in life. Yeah. Talk about.
Yeah, actually, that's
Fantastic.
my profession also. I'm a dentist.
Oh, fantastic. No,
Yeah.
fantastic. You've chosen the. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that's the doctor. That's the doctor in. Fantastic. Excellent.
Mhm.
So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody
Yeah.
else?
Thank you.
Akshat, Surabhi, Akshat Kasera. If you're from IMI, I think there was another Kasera in IMI, one of your seniors, I'm not sure. Anurag, Deepika,
Hi,
Akshat. Hi, Akshat. Where are you
yes,
from?
I am from
What did you?
Mirzapur.
You're from Hyderabad. Oh, fantastic. And
Mirzapur,
what did you hear
Mirzapur.
today that Mirzapur, Hyderabad, Mirzapur?
No, it is in UP.
Oh, acha, okay. There's an Hyderabad in UP also?
No, it is not Hyderabad. It is Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh.
Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, fantastic. Oh my God, you have such wonderful stuff to speak on. As in, you can make up stories also, and everybody will be like, "Oh my God, Akshat, you're so cool." But yeah, I'm sure your real stories also will be fantastic about Mirzapur. At least everybody here who knows about Mirzapur knows it for different reasons. So you can share a new perspective about that. Yeah. So cultural connections. That's something which you can choose to explore on. Fantastic, guys. Anybody else would like to share anything? Correct. I will take that as all of you are really pumped up with either becoming members soon at Toastmasters, Those of you who are Toastmasters, please finish your level ones. In fact, start off with your icebreaker. You'll realize how easy it is for the rest of you.
Hello, sir.
Yep, Arnab, I will not talk to you if you call me sir again. Last chance. Arnab, go ahead.
Okay, so you already given 10 topics, and I like two topics as well.
Fantastic. Well,
Mm,
tell me, which one?
First, life lesson from my family members,
Fantastic.
and how they so the second one is turning point in my life.
My life. Fantastic. Fantastic. So who in your family is, has played a major role in shaping, in shaping Arnab into what he is today?
My parents.
Fantastic. So you can talk about, how your parents, what role they played. Were they too strict with you? Were they always, fully coddling you and, sheltering you from all the bad things in the world? Or were they telling you, go ahead, make mistakes, go ahead, be naughty, get hurt, learn
Yes.
from that? Yeah, like fantastic. That is what will, and that's what you have to talk about. You don't talk about who your mother is, or how she grew up, or who your father is and what he does in his life. You talk about how they helped shape you, right? So that is what an icebreaker is. You are going to introduce yourself to the club. Fantastic, Arnav. Arnav, go ahead. Can't wait to hear your icebreaker. Whenever it is, just share a link with me. I'll definitely be in attendance.
Okay, definitely, sir.
Thank
Definitely.
you. But if you call me sir and say, hi, sir, this is the link to join, I will not be able to join. Got it. How about anybody else? Ravina, Dipanshi, Manish, Avik, we heard from Rajkishore. Rajkishore, if you were to give one more icebreaker, which one of these would you use? Arnab, I gave 12 here. I gave 12 ideas. So that's
I have so many ideas, actually. So I actually took one of these while I gave my icebreaker. So
Oh.
I used my, as I told, I
Correct.
used my turning points in life. So I touched upon the high points and the low points and connected
Fantastic.
it all together.
Correct.
So I would like to give an icebreaker speech on, say, on the sun signs, maybe. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
This is
Go
very
ahead.
good
I
thing.
I think the best book. What is that book? Some Mars and Venus something. I've seen a lot of people read that.
Yeah, men are from Mars and women are from Venus.
I was
correct.
I was going to ask Dr. Shilpa. Dr. Shilpa, you must be definitely knowing it. Huh? So men are from Mars and women are from Venus. That one is a good place to start. You'll get a lot of content there. Good stuff. Yep, that's nice thing. But make sure it's not a report on what a Libra is. You have to share why that is helping you and why that is not helping.
Right.
Yeah. So I won't be surprised if somebody comes and says, doctor, please fix my smile, I want to make it better, and Dr. Shilpa says, what do you mean make it better? It is horrible. So their charming nature and their ability to have fun sometimes works against a Libra. Got it. And somebody unmuted. Subranil, yep.
Yes, hi
share.
Chris. I like about the first point, that is hobbies through experiences. The first point.
Yep.
And second one is a challenging experience. That is the life experience.
Very nice. Yes.
This is also very inspiring, which I faced in my life.
I'm sure, man. I'm sure a lot
And
of
the
us.
third one is learning to that family.
Family. Excellent.
These 3 points I can relate myself.
Nice. Very nice. Please do share. In that. Okay. I'll be eager to, especially for institution clubs. I'm really happy to be in attendance and help you guys. And I have a question is, where will we be able to find a recording? You will check with your Vice President Education. Please follow the District 124 YouTube and Facebook handles. It will be there. Okay, just write D124 Toastmasters. You will get those things. Right? Aman, you're unmuted. Would you like to share anything? Aman is still connecting to audio. So, okay, fine, guys. Thank you very much. I will not take any more of your time. I'm going to stop recording, and thank you very much. Hey, is it possible for those who can come on video to come on for a while? Capture everyone. Hi, Dr. Shilpa. Hi Anurag. Hi Ravina. Hi Surabhi. Arnab, Shirish. I hope your audio works out. Dipanshi, fantastic. Love your glasses. Rohan, love your glasses also. Raj Kishore, you can also. ऐसे भी कर सकता है ऐसे और Avik, nice to meet you. Manish, Subranil, fantastic. Jyoti, Deepika, Aman, I hope we'll see you soon. Let me take a picture. Where is it? Print screen. Oh, what do you want to do? Icebreaker. I just saw a meme, where men, especially men, any picture and they have to show their thumb or the V sign. It's so difficult not to do that. But yeah, we'll do something else. What else can we do, guys?
Or like this?
I might. Why not?
Yeah.
Everybody. Suranil, I'm going to take a print screen. Yes, of course. The women will just smile and get away with it. Got it? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it. To the screen. Thank you, guys. And I'm going to stop recording and you guys can carry on with your day.